I'd say half of you can have a significantly meaningful new customer acquisition channel by the end of 2026 in place, potentially even bigger than Facebook for a lot of you. It wasn't what you were expecting. And I promise you, if you've already written this one off, you just haven't done it right, or you just haven't tried hard enough. You need to be looking at this as the way you looked at Meta in 2012. What changed in 2024? Well, AppLovin, they opened up to e-commerce advertisers after 10 years of driving ROI for app developers. Used to be basically they only ran ads for people who had like mobile apps and stuff. In under 12 months, they became the third largest direct-to-consumer performance channel. The third, behind only Meta and Google. They're better than TikTok, better than Snapchat, better than Pinterest. Dude, that is so crazy, you guys. So crazy. They're publicly traded. They're growing super crazy. This isn't a startup. They're a $100 billion market cap company with proven infrastructure. They're crazy, dude. And I think it's the biggest ad opportunity since Facebook ads. I truly believe that. And I think there's an early adopter window that every channel has. So like, there was a golden period for Facebook. I rode that wave. There was a golden period for TikTok. I rode that wave. There was a golden period in 2015 for Pinterest. I rode that wave. This is a window right now. Right now, this year is the window for this. And it's the 2016 Facebook moment. And if you don't take advantage of it, that's on you, dude. So what is it? Let's talk about what it is real quick. So basically, it works like Meta, TikTok, and Snapchat, but except for your ads show inside of mobile games. Candy Crush, Solitaire, Sudoku, I don't know how you say that, word games. So they got about 100,000 apps in their network that they run ads on. 80% are games and 20% are like your weather app, your calculator app. Anything that's not a social network, these cats are running ads on. And the interesting thing is they've got 1.4 billion daily active users with 100,000 plus apps, and they're growing like crazy. $92 billion in spend across mobile games going on. So it's pretty crazy, the volume available. And people say, oh, I don't want to advertise to mobile gamers. Well, guess what? You do. You don't realize how many people are not on social media right now. They've given up Facebook, they've given up Instagram, but they're playing games on their phone. The average age is 36. 53% of them are women. 76% of the puzzle players are women. 90% of these people are their primary household grocery shopper. 88% are the primary household retail shopper. And wait for this, you guys. This is insane. The average household income is $108,000 for the people that you can reach on this platform. Now, what's interesting is this is why I think e-commerce advertisers don't understand this platform. It's totally different. It's more akin to TV advertising than it is social advertising. So social advertising, it's like you're doom scrolling and it's negativity. Everyone's, it's like the most negative shit in the world is being inundated into your mind, negative, and you're distracted when you're on social media. You're on the toilet. You're watching TV. You're making dinner, and the ad is an interruption ad. You can skip it. You just scroll past it. And it's trying to interrupt you and get your attention. And people are stressed, right? Only 27% of people are relaxed while on social media. With gaming, with AppLovin, you got people are chilling. They're playing games. They just won a level. This is when the ad shows. The ad is a value exchange. It's like, hey, watch this ad and to get some points for this thing. And they're in 60% of people, so more than double the amount of people are in a positive, relaxed state while they're consuming it. So the actual user who sees your ad, number one, is in a much better state of mind. That's the first thing. 41% of people pay attention to the ads and games versus 17% for internet, which is, so basically you have a much more locked in audience, number one. Number two is there's only two types of ads, right? They're interstitial. So basically they're going to happen like during natural pauses in gameplay, when someone just beat a level before the next game loads. And then, or if a user opts in, like, hey, I want to, get some extra points for solitaire, they can choose to watch an ad. The crazy part is that the minimum view time of the interstitial ad is 10 seconds. The minimum view time of the ad that you choose to watch is 25 seconds. So basically they're incentivized to watch, not buy, right? It's like a more transparent value exchange, and they understand that they're going to see an ad in exchange for something. So they're like incentivized to consume the content. So why is it different? Well, the average thumb stop rate on mobile gaming ads is 4 times higher. So it's unskippable for the first 5 to 10 seconds. So it's 100% basically thumb stop ratio versus social feeds. You get like 25% of people will stop and watch the first 3 to 5 seconds of your ad. Check this out though. This is the crazy part, right? So if you look at TikTok, it's a 1 second average view. Facebook's a 3 second average view. YouTube's a 5 second average view. AppLovin is a 35 second average view. And this is why e-commerce advertisers, yet us small guys, I mean, I've got some really big companies, but I still, resonate as I always think of myself as just like a multi-million-dollar a year business owner who's scrapping it out, or couple $100,000 a year business owner who's scrapping it out. You don't understand that you have so much time with mobile gaming ads. Ads have to be different. You cannot just take your ads from TikTok and Facebook and throw them on AppLovin. It ain't going to work. You got to do more of like a direct response infomercial. And I'm going to talk to you about that in just a second. You have 35 seconds, 9 times the attention. It's insane, you guys. So it's also like, if you think about big screen TVs, right? TV advertising, you can't skip it, although I guess you can fast forward in some things. It's full screen. It's a wide broadcast. It's hard to measure the impact. User can't click, they got to call. And then like paid ads on social, which by the way, look, I'm not knocking paid ads on social. I'm a big fan of paid ads on social. I use paid ads on social. But I'm trying to convince you why you need to do the work to adopt this channel, because otherwise I think you're going to try it. It's not going to work. So you're going to throw your Facebook ads on there and then you're going to be like, well, this is stupid. Don't do that. You got to try it. Okay. You got to really try it. So paid social, skippable. You're fighting for attention. It's an algorithmic thing where it's like the algorithm's just trying to figure out who's interested. It is clickable. It is measurable. However, with AppLovin, with Axon, you get the best of both worlds. Okay. Can't skip it. It's full screen. It's measurable. It's algorithmic, where basically, and we're going to talk about what that means in a second, and it's clickable. You get the best of TV and social all in one, and you have time to tell your story. And that is the key. You have time to tell a story and drive action right away. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. So how does the model work? Well, basically, what's interesting is, so the user sees your product. They got 35 seconds or so, on average, to learn about it, and then they take action and buy. Basically, that's how it works. So it's kind of similar to TikTok, where, when you're on your calculator, AppLovin doesn't know how old you are. They don't know what gender you are. They don't know what your email address is. They don't know what you're interested in. They have no idea. So their algorithm, because by the way, mobile gaming inventory has been available. You could buy, you could go to an exchange yourself and buy ads on mobile gaming inventory. But what you don't have is Axon's algorithm. Axon built an algorithm where basically it figures out what users are interested in based on how much they engage with different ads. So it shows them a bunch of ads, figures out what they're interested in. So it's super effective for cold audiences. It works the same way TikTok's feed works, where it's like, it's going to figure out what you're interested in by what you engage with and consume. And, 80% of conversions happen within 1 hour of watching the ad. 90% happen within 24 hours. So that is like proving that it's generating demand. It's moving users from discovery to purchase in a single session, because it's the longest by a factor of 9, well, by a factor of, I guess, 5 if you count YouTube, view duration of any social ad format. It's not really social, any mobile ad format right now. Now, this is Axon's giving me a bunch of case studies of brands that have been successful with them, and that's hooray, good for them, right? But check this out. This is one brand in our agency. They're doing $70,000 a day in spend. $70,000 a day. I think we just got them to 80K. They're doing a 1.8 ROAS with 84% new customers. You guys, this is bonkers. These numbers, if you don't understand how crazy these numbers are for e-commerce brands, it's insane. Net new, not Facebook, not Amazon, not TikTok, not Instagram. Customers, net new customers on a whole new channel that is available to you if you just do the work. And look, you're gonna have to spend, you're gonna have to test, but it's like, I'm telling you, it is available. This is the moment. So basically, it's 1 billion daily active users, a 35-second average view time, 85% new customers, 45% higher ROAS than Meta, and it's the 3rd largest D2C channel in under 1 year, with 75% of the top 100 direct-to-consumer brands already testing it and or scaling, with the lowest cost per clicks and the highest CTRs of any channel. This is that moment.